Jai Sparika Shishi Guru Gaurachandra Ju Ki Jai. So we don't have the two microphone. We don't have the two cameras, right?
The two cameras. Let's try with one for now.
Well, maybe you can show the darshan. Yeah.
Okay.
Jai Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Paribrajaka Astutar Satashri Shriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindade Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhansa Paribrajaka Astutar Satashri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Morning Class. So now the camera is that you can see everyone. You can see you can see the speaker.
Everyone.
Okay, so this is better, no? Is it better? Or we can just show that in the morning at first thing and then come back to this speaker. I don't know.
What do you want?
Yeah, maybe that's better.
Which one of the two options?
Just in the first, just show the whole altar and then come back to the speaker.
Okay.
Don't you think? I think that if we're using one camera, that's probably better for all the programs and everything.
Two cameras?
Two cameras is better, but if we're only using one, then first show the Lord and everything and then come back to the speaker.
Well, you look pretty well as well.
Okay.
This angle.
Oh, all right. Whatever then. My suggestion. Sorry. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jita Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Haribo. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj Ki Jai Srila Om Vishnu Paresi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Vandeham Shri Guru Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakti Vrinda
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakti Vrinda.
Haribo. So continuing Antya Lila, the first volume, this is the third chapter, the glories of Haridas Thakur. So this is now we've come to the relationship between Haridas Thakur and Sri Advaita Acharya, very beautiful, intimate, and divine relationship. And this is now coming to before the appearance of Mahaprabhu. Haridasa, so I'll read a couple verses before. Advaita Acharya was always absorbed in thoughts of how to deliver the fallen souls of the entire world. The entire world is full of non-devotees, he thought. How will they be delivered? Determined to deliver all the fallen souls, Advaita Acharya decided to cause Krishna to descend. With this vow, he began to offer Ganges water and tulsi leaves to worship the Lord. Haridasa kare gompaya nama sankirtana Krishna avatirna haibe eitaramana Similarly, Haridas Thakur chanted in his cave on the banks of the Ganges with the intention of causing Krishna's descent. So both of them were very intent on bringing Krishna to this plane. Dui janera pakche chaitanya kaila avatara nama prema prachari kaila jagada udhara. Because of the devotional service of these two persons, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descended as an incarnation. Thus he preached the holy name of the Lord and ecstatic love of Krishna to deliver the whole world. Ara avlokika akacharitra tahara jahara shravane loke haya chamatkara. There is another incident concerning Haridas Thakur. Excuse me, terrible. There is another incident concerning Haridas Thakur's uncommon behavior. One will be astonished to hear about it. Tarka na kariha tarka gochara tarariti vishvasa kariya shunya kariya pratiti. Hear about such incidents without putting forth dry arguments. For these incidents are beyond material reasoning. One must believe them with faith. Ekadina haridasa gompate bashiya nama sankirtana karena uchakariya. One day Haridas Thakur was sitting in his cave, reciting the holy name of the Lord very loudly. Jyotsna vati ratridasha dikshu nirmala Gangara lahari jyotsnyaya kare jalamala. The night was full of moonlight, which made the waves in the Ganges look dazzling. All directions were clear and bright.
I've heard very similar words of the kirtans that we have chanted, like Jalamala, Mala Jalamala,
Yeah.
and Bisvasa.
Uh-huh.
What is the meaning of Bisvasa?
Vishwas. Which one is that on?
The last verse that you read.
Jalamal appearing the Vishwas. This one. Oh, this verse. I cannot find it.
The last verse that you read. The one that you say complete.
Okay, Jyotsna Virati Dasha Dikshu Nirmala Gangara Lahari Jyotsnaya Kari Jalamala.
The
one before that?
Yeah.
Akadina Haridasa Gompate Bashiya Namashankitena Karena Uchakariya Vare Tulsi Letin. I don't see
the
it.
One that says one must believe.
Vishwas. Vishwas Kariya, believing.
Believing.
Good. Kariya means to do something. So Vishwas Kariya means believing. But the word Vishvasa by itself, I don't know the meaning of it. I mean, I should know it by now, but I don't.
And Jalamala, what is it mean?
Means dazzling. So the saying that the moonlight was making the waves on the Ganges look dazzling, and the other one, the Jalamala, Kori Jalamala, means that the garland on Mahaprabhu is also dazzling. From that song in the morning. Dware tulsi lepa pandira upara kompara shovade kilokera judaya antara. That's everyone who saw the beauty of the cave with the tulsi plant on a clean altar was astonished and satisfied at heart. Henekale akanari angane aila Tara anga kante stana pita varna haila. At that time, in a beautiful scene, a woman appeared in the courtyard. The beauty of her body was so bright that it tinged the entire place with a yellow hue. Tahara anga gande dasha dikamodita bhushana dvanite karnahaya chamakita. The scent of her body perfumed all directions, and the tinkling of her ornaments startled the ear. So in other words, this was like a kind of goddess. Ashya tulasi se kaila namaskara tulsi parikrama kari gela gompa dvara. After coming there, the woman offered obeisances to the tulsi plant. And after circumambulating the tulsi plant, she came to the door of the cave where Haridas Thakur was sitting. Jodahati Haridasera Vandila Charana Dware Basi Kahi Kichuma Duravachana. With folded hands, she'd offer obeisances at the lotus feet of Haridas Thakur. Sitting at the door, she then spoke in a very sweet voice. Jagatera Bandhu Tumi Rupa Gunavan Tava Shangalagi Mora Etake Prayan. My dear friend, she said, you are the friend of the entire world. You are so beautiful and qualified. I have come here only for union with you. So this is these two stories. One of the prostitute that was sent by Ramachandra Khan, and then this personality who came on her own to test the divine qualities of Haridas Thakur. So the first one was just a regular young prostitute. But this was a much more effulgent kind of heavenly type of personality. More angikara karahanya sadaya dine dayakare e sadhu svabhavahaya. My dear sir, kindly accept me and be merciful toward me, for it is a characteristic of all saintly persons to be kind toward the poor and fallen. So this is all nonsense. Their kindness is of a high quality. It's not that kind of kindness. However, she's mixing that so that he has an excuse. But of course he doesn't want one. Atabali nanabhava karaye prakasha jahara darshane munirahaya dairya nasha. After saying that, she began to manifest various postures, which even the greatest philosopher would lose his patience upon seeing. You know, postures. So she's making some, Nirvikara haridasa gambira ashaya palitela gile tane hanya sadaya. Haridas Thakur was immovable, for he was deeply determined. He began to speak to her, being very merciful to her. Shankya nama shankyatana e mahayagya manye tahate dakshita ami hai pratidine. I have been initiated into a vow to perform a great sacrifice by chanting the holy name a certain number of times a day. So he could have just said, get out of here, but he's very merciful. Java kirtana samaptya nahe nakaryanya kama kirtana samapta haile haya dikshara bishrama. As long as the vow to chant is unfulfilled, I do not desire anything else. When I finish my chanting, then I have an opportunity to do anything. Dware bashi shunatumi nama shankirtana nama samapta haile karimu tava pritya charana. Sit down at the door and hear the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As soon as the chanting is finished, I shall satisfy you as you desire. Atabali karena teho nama sankirtana se naribashi kare shri nama shravana. After saying this, Haridas Thakur continued to chant the holy name of the Lord. Thus the woman sitting before him began to hear the chanting of the holy name. Kirtana karite ashi pratakala haila, pratakala deki nari utya chalila. In this way, as he chanted and chanted, the morning approached, and when the woman saw that it was morning, she got up and left. So this very similar type of scenario. E matatina dina kare agamana, nana bhava dekaya jate brahmara hare mana. For 3 days she approached Haridas Thakur in this way, exhibiting various feminine postures that would bewilder the mind of even Lord Brahma. Krishna nama vishtamana sada haridasa aranye rodita haila shri bhava prakasha. Haridas Thakur was always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna and the holy name of Krishna. Therefore, the feminine poses the woman exhibited were just like crying in the forest. So if one's crying in the forest, nobody's there to hear them. Tritiya diva shera ratri shesha jabe haila Thakurera stane nari kahite lagila. At the end of the night of the third day, the woman spoke to Haridas Thakur as follows. Tina dina vanchila ama kari asvasana ratre dine nahi tomara nama shamapana. My dear sir, for 3 days you have cheated me by giving me false assurances, for I see that throughout the entire day and night your chanting of the holy name is never finished. Haridas Thakur kahena amiki karimu niyama kariya chetaha kemane chadimu. Haridas Thakur said, my dear friend, what can I do? I've made a vow. How then can I give it up? Tabe nare kahe tare kari namaskara ami maya karite ailana parikshatomara. After offering obeisances to Haridas Thakur, the woman said, I am the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I came here to test you. So I mentioned that before, that it was Maya Devi herself came to, the illusory energy herself came to test Haridas Thakur of her own volition.
And he passed the test.
Yeah, those persons who are on the Nirguna plane, the illusory comings and goings of this plane have no attraction for them. It's just nothing for them. But we can hear about this. It's very purifying. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Daivi hiesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame vijay prabhajante maya metam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is very difficult to overcome. But those who surrender to me can easily cross beyond it. And this is actually proved by the behavior of Haridas Thakur. So when some beautiful lady, the most beautiful lady on earth, will look like some kind of low creature compared to the damsels of the heavenly planets, and what to speak of Maya Devi herself. And he was like completely neutral to that. No effect at all. So this is a very beautiful thing to meditate on, that such a thing exists. And also Srila Gurudev said, anyone who is trying to maintain a celibate lifestyle, or even in married life, there's some restriction there, should worship Hanuman Hanuman, the servant of Ramachandra, monkey servant, he's a lifetime celibate. And he said, always keep a picture of Hanuman and offer obeisances and ask for his help. And suddenly something can switch. Very powerful. Very powerful. Indeed, people have forgotten the ultimate goal of life because of the dazzling attractions of the material world. But this dazzling attraction, especially the attractive beauty of a woman, is meant for persons who are not surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who is surrendered unto me cannot be conquered by the illusory energy, the Lord says. The illusory energy personally came to test Haridas Thakur, but herein she admits her defeat, for she was unable to captivate him. How is this possible? It was because Haridas Thakur, fully surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, was always absorbed in thoughts of Krishna by chanting the holy names of the Lord 300,000 times a day as a vow. How beautiful is that? Brahmari jiva ami shabare mohilung, ekala tomare ami mohite narilung. I have previously captivated the mind of even Brahma. What to speak of others? Your mind alone have I failed to attract. Beginning from Lord Brahma to the insignificant ant, everyone, without exception, is attracted to the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the demigods, human beings, animals, birds, beasts, trees, and plants are all attracted by sexual desire. So these are the deep things, the very deep things, life after life after life, species after species after species. This is the problem. But he was always absorbed in spiritual life. Maha Bhagavata tumi tomara darshane, tomara Krishna nama kirtana shravane, chitta shuddha haila chahe Krishna nama laite, Krishna nama upadeshi kripakare mote. My dear sir, you are the foremost devotee. Simply seeing you and hearing you chant the name of Krishna has purified my consciousness. Now I want to chant the holy name of the Lord. Please be kind upon me by instructing me about the ecstasy of the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So when there's some disturbance in the mind, we should take this as our karma. And the disturbance is not a call for satisfaction, but that we should notice, oh, I am so much suffering right now, and this is due to my own past activities. So this is good for me, my Lord, and I surrender to you. So, and then, there is household life where there's some regulation of, association, but that should be conducted in such a way that these things are gradually purified through mutual help in the service of the Lord and the chanting of the holy name. Then that also can be gradually purified. But anyway, Chaitanya avatare vahe prema mritavanya Shabhajiva preme base prithvi haila danya. There is now a flood of the eternal nectar of love of Godhead due to the incarnation of Lord Chaitanya. All living entities are floating in that flood. The entire world is now thankful to the Lord. Evanyaya jena base se jivachara, se jivachara, Koti kalpe kabutara nahika nishtara. Anyone who does not float in this inundation is most condemned. This is such a great flood that anyone who does not come into this flood, oh, how can he be that unfortunate? Such a person cannot be delivered for millions of kalpas. A kalpa is explained in Bhagavad Gita, Sahasra Yuga, Paryantam Ahor Jad Brahmano Vidu. One day of Brahma is called a kalpa. A yuga or a mahayuga consists of 4,320,000 years, and 1,000 of such mahayugas constitute one kalpa.
What is a mahayuga?
So Srila Prabhupada here is saying a yuga or mahayuga. So maybe that is the cycle of 4 yugas.
So one cycle, how many?
4,320,000 years. And 1,000 of those is a kalpa or 1 day of Brahma.
1,000 cycles or 1,000 mahayugas is 1 day of Brahma.
Yeah.
Or 1 kalpa.
Yeah. So that's 4,320,000 years times 1,000.
So 1,000,000 kalpas.
And that, no, 1,000 kalpas is
1,000 kalpas.
Mahakalpa, is 1 day of Brahma, a day.
Wow.
And then he has a night, and he lives for 100 years. So Brahma's life is inconceivably long. And Mahaprabhu coming in the form that he is just now, now is only in 1 Kali Yuga in 1 day of Brahma. So
Wow.
this is an inconceivable amount of time. And so anyone who doesn't take advantage, this is what she's saying, anyone who does not come into this ocean of mercy of Mahaprabhu, how can he be that unfortunate? It's like inconceivable misfortune. He said he won't be delivered for millions of kalpas. The author of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita says that if one does not take advantage of the Krishna consciousness movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he cannot be delivered for millions of kalpas. Purve ami Ramanama panyachi Shiva haite tomara shange lo bahaila Krishna nama laite. So she is continuing to speak. So this is Mahamaya herself speaking, illusion personified, and she is now continuing to speak. She's saying all these things. Formerly, I received the holy name of Lord Rama from Lord Shiva, her husband. But now, due to your association, I'm greatly eager to chant the holy name of Krishna. The Lord Shiva is generally worshipping Ramachandra. And he initiated her, Parvati Mayadevi, into the chanting of the name of Rama. But now, having the association of Haridas Thakur, she wants to be initiated into the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. And that is not the same Rama. That name is not referring to Ramachandra. Mukti hetu kataraka hai Rama nama Krishna nama paraka hanya kare premadana. The holy name of Lord Ram certainly gives liberation. But the holy name of Krishna transports one to the other side of the ocean of nescience and at last gives one ecstatic love of Krishna. In an indirect way, this verse explains the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, includes both the holy name of Lord Krishna and the name of Lord Ram. And then further down, O Lord, the intelligence of those who think themselves liberated but have no devotion is impure. It is not pure. Not to come to the devotional service of the Lord, this is still a wrongness in consciousness. Hari Bol. If one takes shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna after liberation, he develops his dormant ecstatic love for Krishna. That is the highest perfection of life. So speaking about Gyan, and I mentioned this yesterday, that Srila Guru Maharaj says, knowledge, if it is healthy, will come to surrender. Knowledge will result in surrender to Krishna. If that knowledge is proper, if it's pure, and if it's in a healthy state, it will come to surrender to Krishna. That is the goal of knowledge. If it doesn't, then it's impure. It's not real. It's not in a good condition.
What does Guru Maharaj mean by that? Knowledge?
So you were asking about knowledge the other day, right? Gyan, right? Do you remember? So anyway, it's just saying that if you really understand, if you want to understand things, and that knowledge does not come to the lotus feet of Krishna and surrender to Krishna, then it is impure. It's not in a right condition. So here it's also saying that if one comes to liberation, but that liberation does not lead to the service of Krishna, then it's not in a good condition. It is, what does he say? What is the word? No, not polluted. It's there's a word that he was using. Impure. That knowledge, the intelligence of those who think they're liberated but have no love for Krishna, their intelligence is still impure because there's some envy there. There's still aversion. So above here, Srila Prabhupada is saying, if you go to a hospital but your cure is not full, then again you'll get that disease. So those who are liberated, unless they come to the transcendental platform, they will again come to this plane. It's not permanent. What were you going to say? And another analogy is burning down a stand of, like a little garden of bamboo. You can burn it down, it's gone. But if the root is there, then it'll simply grow again.
Is the intention behind knowledge also matter? For example, if we're reading the Bhagavad Gita, my intention is just to memorize it. Or if my intention is to be more wise for my own enjoyment, would that knowledge still take me to the lotus feet of Krishna?
Well, I mean, ultimately it depends on your association. And your guru is pointing that out. So even by your question, it shows that you know that this is not good. So even though those things may come as it's static on the line, it's coming to interfere. Those desires may come to interfere, but we don't like them. We're not trying to nourish that. So eventually that will be defeated through constant hearing, but properly hearing, like really hearing what is the actual goal of this knowledge. But yeah, if that is cultivated, then definitely that knowledge will be the shadow of that. It won't be the real thing that will come into our heart. We're not trying to cultivate that. We don't like that those things are inside of us. So that those things can be purified if that's our hope and prayer. But if we misuse that knowledge, then of course we won't have it. You can't misuse reality. You will only get a shadow of it. Right? So we're constantly hearing, in good association, hearing the purports of Srila Prabhupada, hearing the talks of Gurudev, Guru Maharaj, and adjusting our tendencies to go to the higher and higher and higher plane. And not to get discouraged. It's normal for some disease to remain. Gurudev said, Srila Prabhupada used to say, you can unplug the fan, and that is good. But for a while it'll turn, even after it's unplugged. That's normal. So we're not to become discouraged, but when those things become very loud, then we just think, okay, I've got to do something more about this. And it's always prayerful to bow down, surrender. Look, these things are coming to disturb me, and it is my own fault. I'm the one who collected these stones in my bag, and now this bag is very heavy and giving me so much difficulty. It's my fault. So by your grace, may I just put them down. Just put them down. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's very helpful.
Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj ki Jai, Srila Om Vishnupada Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. So sometimes we are feeling some kind of disturbance in our mind, but we have to take responsibility for that. This is my fault that I have all these tendencies, and now I'm suffering from those tendencies. So as you like, let me suffer. And I bow down to you that these things will be removed from me. So for you, so that I will be your servant. I'm not trying to just let these suffering remove from me so that I can enjoy life better, or just come to the plane of liberation. But I want your service. I want to actually be a genuine person, an actual slave. Slave is the only genuine position. Servant is always, we're saying servant, but it implies some remuneration, some payment. But slave is the real honest position. Self-giving without any motive. That is so noble. Such a noble position. And we want that. Even if we don't want, even if the mind does not want that, we'll just, Srila Saraswati Thakur said, get your shoe and beat your mind with your shoe. It's the most insulting thing to do. Beat somebody with your shoe is a very heavy thing. He's saying, in the morning you get up and take your shoe and beat your mind with it.
Does it have to be physical?
Well, your mind is kind of subtle, but yeah. Haribol, Jai Shri Padeshamrita ki Jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki Jai, Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. Okay, as far as possible, not looking. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam jiva vegam udaro pasta vegam etan veganyo vishaheta dhira sarvam apimam prativim sasisya atyahara prayasascha prajalpo nigmagraha Janasanga shalolyam cha sabir bhaktir binashati. Utsan nishchayadharya tat karma pravartanat. Sangatyaga sato vritte sadbir bhakti prasidjati. Tadati pratigrahnati guhyam makyati prichati. Bhungte bojayate chaiva sabir sadvidam pritilakshanam. Krishneti asya giritam manasadriyeta. Dikshasti chet pranati bischa bhajantamisham. Shushushaya bhajavigyam cha bhajavigyam ananyamanya. Nindadi shunya hridamipshitya sangalabdya. Then this verse 6. Tishtai svabhava janite vapushascha dosher na prakritatvam miha bhakta janasya pasyet. Gangam basana kalu buddha pena pankaya brahmadravatvam apagachati niratarmai. Do not consider devotees in this world mundane because of faults in their nature and body. The water of the Ganges never loses its spiritual nature because of bubbles, foam, and mud, which are natural in water.
A question related to this verse 6. Does Rupa Goswami refer to devotees by all the devotees that have taken initiation, Diksha, or just to the devotees?
There's different levels of it. In the practitioner devotees, there are many faults. Of course, faults means really actual material attachment. And this verse is more referring to those who have no material attachment, but who may be doing so many different things, which could be the symptom of material attachment in another person. Oh, we've talked about this quite a bit. But your question is, so how is that relationship going to be with practitioner devotees? That is that we want to associate with the highest part of everyone, with the best part. So we're not so much trying to get as far as possible, our association with one another should be uplifting. So that's how it is with us who are practitioner devotees. There may be many mundane tendencies, and we don't want to dwell on those, but they may be really there and mundane. With the great souls, they're never mundane. What a conditioned soul does for himself, he may do the same thing, but it is absolutely pure. There's no thing like that. But that's more what this verse is referring to. You follow? But in terms of each other, we don't want to dwell on those faults. But we may notice them, and we may not want to associate with that part of that person. So it's not like we're blind and we're not noticing that there may be some mundane tendency. But at the same time, unless we have a job to correct someone, then it's not really our business too much. But like in the case of a parent with a child, he's not finding fault to correct that child. So there may be some job there for someone. But at the same time, when we're associating with one another, we try to remember to always perform actions with each other in a good association, and do wholesome activities. Wholesome means something nutritious, like going for walks or going to do something, not to associate with any really wrong thing in someone. don't associate with that part. But at the same time, to find the Vaishnavata, or the part of that person which is their faith and their good quality. Is that kind of clear?
Yes.
But they're two different. They're going along the same lines. We don't want to find fault, but because we don't want to associate with that fault so much, either physically or mentally. But at the same time, we can see it. But when it's dealing with those great souls, we will be mistaken. We will see something which is not true. We're not seeing that thing properly. Just like a policeman may shoot someone. And if we think, oh, that's murder, it's not the same thing. So we can't mistake what the great souls do as being mundane. We mustn't do that. That will be very dangerous for our progress. And I've seen it. I've seen that, really how dangerous that is. If we can't understand this point, then we will be very, very much the loser. So Srila Rupa Goswami is mercifully giving us this verse to help us to realize something about this.
Only to try to see the Vaishnavata.
In even the practitioner devotees.
Even a practitioner. Even in non-practitioner devotees too?
Yeah, in the great souls, we will... everything about them is Vaishnavata.
How about the non-practitioners? People that...
Well, then we're trying to help them. So we make friends with the devotees, we worship the great devotees and the Lord, and we are merciful to those who have no connection yet.
Giving association.
Giving association, but not taking association.
You know what I have found difficult? Because...
you can be heard, right?
I think it can be heard.
Now this thing's probably getting paper noises.
So you mentioned that for the non-practitioners, because in our lives we will still be surrounding ourselves with non-practitioners, non-devotees, because of work, school.
Sure.
And you're mentioning that for the practitioners, devotees, we should try to see the highest quality, only the Vaishnava qualities, and not associate with the non-devotee qualities of that practitioner. And then with the non-practitioners, you're mentioning that we should help them.
Yeah.
In my case, I feel that I haven't even helped myself. Like when the faith is weak, like a leaf, I will feel like not with the power of helping. And what if that person actually can help me? Like it has happened to me. Non-devotees, non-practitioners have actually helped me.
Yes. So the question is a really good one, and Guru Maharaj explains it. Guru Maharaj says we have to become aware that nothing can happen outside of the Lord. If I meet someone, it is his arrangement. And there's something called Vartma Pradakshika Guru. I forget that second word. I think it's Vartma Pradakshika Guru. That means someone who comes and teaches you something, they don't know how they're teaching you something which is increasing your spiritual life. But Krishna knows. And there's an example that taught this before, but it's a really nice example, that a householder goes to the door and there's a man selling fruit at the door. And the man and the householder says, "Just a moment, I'll go get some money." And the fruit seller says, "Hurry, please, because it's getting late. The sun is setting, so please hurry." And the man thinks, I'm getting older. My life is going to end soon. I can't just waste the rest of my life. And he leaves the house. He just leaves to go and grab firmly his spiritual progress. So that's an example of a guru coming in the form of someone else to teach us. Krishna is in the heart of everyone. And we cannot meet anything or have any experience of anything if the Lord does not want it. He's Rishikesh. He is the one who is giving us our sense experience. So that is, Krishna is the absolute truth. There's nothing outside of him. And that is the deep practice of Krishna consciousness, is to understand that he's everywhere, and really he's everywhere, and Guru is everywhere. That is a very good practice, to understand that absolute reality is there. It's not like non-Krishna, Krishna, non-Krishna, Krishna. This is a stage, of course, but at the same time, your question is bringing this answer, and it is a good question and important answer that we've heard from our gurus. So we are really trying to associate with Krishna in everything and in all of our dealings, even walking in the woods. To remember, this is you, all existence is for you. It is all for you. It is not one. Why would one atom be for me? Why would that be? Which atom would that be? And why would it be existing for me? That's all wrong. All things exist for the Lord, and I exist for the Lord. And we must come into that beautiful, harmonious existence. That is reality. Actually, reality is Swarup Shakti. And Maya means not seeing that. Not seeing that clearly. So in all circumstances, we must be Krishna conscious. That means reality. See the thing truly for what it is. And that is true. And so in that position, there is no bad association. But that is a little elevated, but we are still very elevated, but we are still practicing that. That is what we're practicing. We are practicing Krishna consciousness. And what is Krishna? Is there some place where he's not? That's only called illusion. It's not a separate thing. It is simply illusion. Reality is Swarup Shakti. And we have to simply find it through surrender and remembrance. Remember. Even if we see some silly thing. Oh, my Lord, you want me to see this. And I see how silly this is. And this is a very good lesson for me. And you are coming in this form. Guru is coming in this form. Right?
Thank you, Didi. That's a great answer.
Haribol. So that's why the great gurus can go anywhere and preach. Sarvam apimam pritivim sisisyat. They're not affected by any environment. Everything that will come in that environment they see as Krishna, and they are simply trying to connect every soul with their guru. Give that divine connection with my Guru. When Gurudev would give initiation, he's saying, I think you are a sincere soul and I am connecting you with my Guru. That is the way of initiation always. So we're going out there, not that I'm trying to save them, but I am trying to be an emissary of my Gurudev and connect a soul to his holy feet, to the Guru, our Guru Varga. I want to give something to you. I want to connect you to what is so valuable. And then we are just somebody carrying the message. We're not the thing that is going to save anyone. But we're trying to give some connection, bring them to the feet of our Gurudev.
Jai Didi. It's very beautiful how this is being approached in even a scientific way. That reality is for him, not for us. And when we try to remember that, then we perceive it in a different way.
Very much so.
And there's more joy and more energy. And I understand now that this consciousness should be shared with others. It will help them. Bhima Krishna Prabhu mentioned on this topic right now. Sometimes when we are helping someone who is in sincere need, oftentimes the things that we are inspired to share, we also benefit ourselves.
That's so true. Guru Srila Prabhupada always used to say, action in knowledge increases one's advancement in knowledge. So this kirtan, Guru Maharaj said, kirtan finally means preaching. In the best sense, kirtan is preaching. And we are getting some real life. Getting some life when we can share. When we can share what we've heard and what we are trying to practice. We are also getting some, because this is all divine substance coming in the form of sound, divine conscious substance, and that substance may reveal itself to us. And when it is pleased with us, then there can be some real realization, but that is not our. We cannot force that to happen. We are trying to please this divine substance, which has come into our ear. We are trying to serve that by sharing that. That is Mahaprabhu's flow. The flow of Mahaprabhu is in help, in giving affection and help to others. That is the mercy transmission. So, yeah, I'm feeling like that too, Bhima Prabhu. Sometimes you get some chance to say something to someone, and you are uplifted by that. You really feel, oh, I had a very nice day. I got to speak to this woman who was checking out the groceries and said, oh, that's a nice thing on your neck. What is that? And I say, oh, this is made from the tulsi tree, very sacred plant. This is something, and then, there are many, that we practice this devotional yoga where we are seeing the Lord's hand everywhere. It's very nice, very sweet, very ancient. We have this place, we sing together and all that, and free this and that, and here's a card. And you think, well, maybe she heard the name of Tulsi Devi, and this is the Lord's arrangement. And maybe I did something. Maybe I was able to serve. Maybe not very well. I don't know. But I got an opportunity, and hopefully Nityananda Prabhu will help us to do that nicely.
It makes sense. That's how I met the devotees, because I asked this devotee in the streets that he was selling yogurt in Ecuador. What is that thing in your neck? He just mentioned.
What is that? What?
What is that thing in your neck? I asked him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I barely saw his neck. Like that. I thought it was a good color. He mentioned temple, festival, fruits, flowers, and he mentioned the word Krishna. So I just walked in the temple the next Sunday. But he didn't do much. He just said, oh, it's tulasi. I got it from this temple, from this place. He had autism. Like he will have problems to communicate. Like a very severe autism. It will be awkward to interact with him.
And he's out there selling.
But
Isn't that amazing? Krishna is not limited by us. Even a person who's saying, hurry up and get your money, the sun is setting. He can utilize us for anything. Isn't that wonderful?
Sure.
All right, we still did not finish this sixth verse. So, I'm glad because there's more to read for tomorrow. Any comments? Any more comments?
Well, the devotees offering their Dandavat.
Dandavat, Dandavat. It's so lovely to know that our friends are with us in the morning.
You're right.
We were just talking about this yesterday, Haridev Prabhu here and myself, about how all the nasty things about Kali Yuga, 5G and all these different things, but this is what we're utilizing. It is there. We don't want to try to destroy them, but we are utilizing these things. And this internet has, somebody can say, I want to get away from all that, I just want to, but we're utilizing this for the service of Guru and Gauranga. And not running away. Running away to what? It will still be Kali Yuga, wherever we go. There won't be anything pure. Nothing is pure in Kali Yuga. Everything is connected with sin. The only good quality of Kali Yuga is Harinam Sankirtan. Only one thing. And we can if we want to analyze this, we must come to that conclusion. Nothing is disconnected with sinfulness. So we're so happy this internet has come, and materially maybe there's some big fault in that, but spiritually, who cares about that? We're not trying to solve that. We don't care about that. We're caring about the utility of it in the service of Mahaprabhu and Gurudev. That's the purifying. There and then it becomes purified. That's where the power of purification of Kali Yuga comes. Not in some relative thing. It's all the relative thing will all be one bad thing replaced by another bad thing. So we had such a good talk about this yesterday. Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi ki
Jai.
Haribo. Jai Upadeshamrita ki Jai. Srila Rupa Goswami ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Beautiful Srila Gurudev ki Jai.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Rupa Govinda Raham Srimadhusudana. Giridhari Gopina Madana Mokhana. Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Gadadara Sri Vasari Gauravata Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanata Mata Raghunata Sri Shiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunata Jai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana Jaha Oite Vinana Shavista Purana Jai Gosai Jara Mohitara Dasa Dasa Vara Pada Renu Mora Panchagrasa Adhiracharana Sevi Bhakta Sanivasa Jana me mora eya vilasa Jai Gosai Jabe Vraje Koila Vasa Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasha Anande Bolo Hare Vaja Vrindavana Guru Vaishnava Parima Jai Jamana Guru Vaishnava Para Panma Koriyasha Hare Nama Sankirtana Kohe Narotama Dasa Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaura Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Jai Sukari Kasi Shri Guru Gauratam Ki
Jai.
Jai Shri Giriraj Gauratam Ki
Jai.
Jai Janam Vishnupala Paramhamsa Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupala Paramhamsa Srila Bhakti Varak Shri Gurudev Goswami Maharaj Ki
Jai.
Shri Rupa Nuga Gu Varga Ki Jai
Jai.
Namacharya
Haridas Thakur ki
Jai.
Jai.
We're hearing the glories of Haridas Thakur. Inconceivable personality. Nirguna. No attraction whatsoever. The mundane plane. Jai. Sadgoswami Prabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Saparsha Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Sannyasi Vrinda ki Jai.
Jai.
Saparsha Sriman Mahaprabhu ki
Jai.
Jai. Saparsha Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Mathura Dham ki Jai. Navadvip Dham ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai.
Jai.
Ganga Mai ki Jai. Jamuna Mai ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi ki
Jai.
jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat ki jai. Chaitanya Sakama ki jai. Sri Chaitanya SCSMission ki jai. Gol Kartal ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki jai. Samaveda Bhaktarinda ki jai. Nitre Gaur Premanandi.
Haribo. Srimati Lekha Didi ki jai. Bimal Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat, Ganga Lila Didi. Dandavat, it would be nice to hear your story one day, maybe, Ganga Lila Didi, of how you met the devotees. There's Shama Malini Didi, Dandavat, and Kumkum Didi, Dandavat. Alright.
Haribo. Exalted association.
Exalted association. Any thoughts, comments, or questions, dear devotees?
Okay. Devo.
Hurry before Lekha Didi walks away. Alright, Dandavat, dear devotees. Have a glorious day.
Jai, beautiful Tulsi Devi ki
Jai.
Urfi.
Let's see. Tulasi Devi.